Hello and welcome to another episode of the Harvest Season. My name is Sleepy Al.
And my name is Hyper Codey.
And we're here today to talk about cottagecore games. Woo! Whoa! Oh no! Woo! Oh yeah! What was
In
that?
a recent, I don't know, I tried to do the whole "let's go" energy, and it kind of just came out a little different. I don't know.
I don't think we need to make the energy differential any higher than it is.
USA.
Like an American and a Scottish person, when the Scottish person is tired and it's late at night. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you doing this later.
I also suspect you just go hyper when you're tired.
I do, except for if it's really, really late. I go hyper and then I go brain can't word good when it hit a certain point. And so, yeah. But I am definitely at the hyper spot right now.
Rona, my wife, is the opposite. She goes completely comatose to start with, and then it hits a point and then she goes hyper. And when she goes hyper, you're like, no, you should have already gone to bed by now.
Why are you still conscious?
Yeah. All right, cool. So transcripts for the podcast are available in the show notes and on the website. This episode, we are going to talk about Coral Island speculation / wants. I haven't figured out a good way to word this. Hopes, wants, whatever. We're going to talk about what we want.
I like hopes and dreams.
In Coral Island. Hopes and dreams. Coral Island, hopes and dreams.
Yes.
I was once in, here's a fun fact for you. Okay. I was in, as a child, a Christian musical called Hopes and Dreams.
Oh, okay.
It was quite something.
I was in a Christian musical called Children of Eden.
Wow.
Yep,
There you go.
I am a non-theist, so it's very, very interesting. But that's what, when you're in high school and your director is like, this is what we're doing, then you don't really have a choice.
Gotta love that separation of church and state over there.
Oh, you are very aware that is non-existent.
Don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. We're gonna talk about Coral Island, what we want from the game now that it's hit 1.0 and we have some idea of what's coming out in the next few updates. What do we want else that they haven't said? Because there's a bunch of stuff that they said they're adding, and I don't think anything in our list is those. So what else do we want? So we'll talk about that. Before that, we have quite a lot of news. It's been a very busy week. But first of all, Codey, what have you been up to?
Well, the reason we had to record later in your evening was because my morning was spent getting a party shiny Wurmple tattoo holding a pride flag. So that is my most recent thing. He's just a little guy and he's on my arm and his hat is glittery. I will put him in the Discord for the Slack for people.
I was like, we have a Discord? News to me.
We have a Discord.
We do, but me and you are the only people on it.
Well, no. I'm throwing him in the Slack right now. So that I've been doing that. I've also been still working on Foxcraft, my Minecraft Fox. The head is complete. So now I just have to do the body, which is at least twice the size of the head. So it's going to take a very long time. But most of my time has been spent furiously preparing a bunch of specimens. Just from my May sample from last year, I have 7,000 insects that I have prepared and identified. And I did that so that I could make a poster for a conference I'm going to this weekend. So, woo!
Woo!
Research. It is actually really exciting. I've had a lot of papers moving along and chapters getting published and stuff like that. So I'm feeling like a scientist. It's very interesting. I've also had people
imagine that.
I know, right? I've also had people reaching out to me and being like, "You're a recognized expert in the field of forest pollinators. Can you review this paper about forest pollinators?" And then another email that was like, "Hey, we're putting together a journal in special edition about forest pollinators. Do you have a paper that you would like to submit?" And I was like, man, I don't right now, but next year I totally would. So pretty much riding the highs of PhD life. With, I don't know if I've been medicated yet, since I've been telling people, but I am medicated for ADHD now. Woo! It does not dull my shine. It hones me. I am honed. I can focus on things now.
I don't believe you.
Wow, rude.
About being able to focus, I mean, not about the shine. What was it? Shine?
It's dulling my shine, dulling my sparkle.
Sparkle. I do love how we talk about sparkle, and it's like, what exactly is the sparkle you're talking about? Is the sparkle the like?
Well, so some people, when you get some type of medication for
I know,
that kind of stuff, some people get a little zonked.
I know what you
but
mean.
I'm clearly not zonked.
I know what you mean.
Clearly not. Well, that's what I've been up to. What about you, Al?
I have been playing Spells and Secrets.
Ooh.
Which is not, I mean, it's the worst kept secret, right? Because on 2 episodes ago, me and Bev said we were going to play it and then talk about it. But shh, don't tell anyone.
Okay. I'll keep it secret.
I won't give any opinions on the game just now because, I need to actually say something on the episode that we may or may not be doing. So that's it. I've been playing it and I will have some opinions. I've also been playing Pokemon. Doing all those raids, enjoying those. We're on Blastoise now, enjoying those Blastoise raids, getting all the Herba Mystica. Yeah.
Are you coming to Go Fest in New York City?
I think you know the answer to that question.
Yeah.
No. You think I would be
come back to
doing well? No. You think I would do 2 US, transatlantic flights in a year? No.
New York City's a lot easier because then you don't have to I'm assuming your flight didn't go from, what would you fly out of Belfast?
London
to straight to LA, right? Like you probably had something. It did?
Yeah.
That is disgusting.
It was long. It was 11 and a half hours long.
That is very disgusting.
It was. It was not fun.
Yeah. Well, then never mind. With the point I was trying to make. But you should still come to New York City so that we can hang out. No, I'm kidding. It's expensive. It's long. I get it.
Yeah, not this year. I would like to do it sometime, but not this year.
Perhaps next year, because I think it's going to happen again next year.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. People seem to like that place where they did that event. It was getting a lot of positive stuff, and they have done it for 2 years in a row.
This will be the second year. Yeah.
I don't think I think Chicago's the only other place that's had 2 Go Fests. And certainly I think it's the only one that's had 2 in a row. So.
I think someone said something about how they've booked New York for 3 years.
Interesting.
Which would be cool.
Sounds like something that somebody just made up.
I saw it on the internet, and the internet is correct always.
Yep. Cool. Awesome. Wow. Shall we get into this long list of news? So I'm doing that thing where there's so much news that I've split it up into sections. So our first section is releases. So we have 4 releases. First of all, Chilltown have announced that they're releasing in early access on the 22nd of March. So this is one that I have backed on Kickstarter, so I will get that code and I will maybe play the game. We'll see. I quite like the look of this one. I think it's going to be interesting to see whether it does anything unique. I like its art style. It's kind of chibi-esque. So I guess we'll see what happens when it actually releases.
It's giving Animal Crossing, but without animals and with a 3D camera. And I guess there's animals, but it's not like your villagers aren't animals. They're people. Yes. And you have a cat that follows you around.
Yeah.
But, which is not my cup of tea, but excited to hear your thoughts on it are you going to play the early access then?
no promises.
Womp womp.
We will
Okay.
see. We'll see. I mean, let's be honest, right? It's coming out 3 days after Stardew 1.6, and like a week before I go to the Isle of Man for 2 weeks. So I'm not promising anything at this point. But I will play the game at some point. Whether I play it in early access or not, I don't know. I don't even know like how long the early access will be. So,
And is that just Steam?
as of just now, yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Just Windows as well.
Cool.
Not that it matters to me because I'll be playing on the Steam Deck, right? So,
You're right.
they estimate 3 months for early access. There's no way that'll be 3 months in early access. Absolutely no way.
Like you're saying it'll take longer for it to go from
Absolutely.
early access to 1.0. Okay.
I would bet money on that. That is 3 months. Like, what are you even doing in 3 months? 3 months is nothing. That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild that they're suggesting that. 3 months. And mark my words, right? Somebody clip this. Mark my words. In a year, it'll still be in early access.
Wow.
There's no way it is going to be not in early access in the next year.
Okay. Not very trusting. Something you put your money to.
Well, look, I'm not saying they won't release a good game. I'm just saying if they're releasing early access on the 22nd of March, that is not coming to out of early access in 3 months. It's just not happening.
Okay.
Of Life and Land, they have announced that their early access release will be on the 2nd of April.
Woo.
Woo.
I hadn't looked at this, I don't think, before. So I am very intrigued after I watched the trailer and I kind of looked at it. It's giving like Age of Empires, but Zoo Tycoon at the same time.
Yeah.
And I love both of those games. So I am curious. So we'll see. I didn't back it or anything though. And I think I also am a little sketched out by early access nowadays. So I probably also won't. But like when it hits 1.0 in a million years, according to you.
Well, can I just point out they're being a lot more realistic. They're saying it will take a few years.
Okay.
So they are much more, and they're not even saying like a year or 2 years. They're saying a few years. Like that is the absolute right way to do not tell us when it will be out of early access. You just don't know. I think if you know when you're going to give us a non-early access, you probably shouldn't have done early access.
True. So yeah, I will keep my eye on that game / listen to the podcast and keep my eye on it. Listen to when you say it's 1.0. Very cute though.
Yes. This was the one that was called Circle of Kerzoven, just if anybody is keeping track.
Well, I still didn't know what that was. So.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Saying. I don't think this was a Kickstarter.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think it was a Kickstarter. So it's just
it's just cute.
I'm not running out to buy it, but yeah, I want to see it succeed. I like its graphics, and I mean, I don't like management games. It's not my thing. So, I don't. Maybe we need to get Kevin on this one.
Me and Kevin.
Critter Crops is launching, I believe, not in early access. So they're just launching 1.0 on the 15th of April.
Mm-hmm.
What is with it? That's less than a month. We've got these 3 games releasing, so it's going to be busy.
Yeah, this one meh. I think that the art style was really cute, but not hooked. So, listeners, tell us how it is when it's out.
You don't want to grow magical critters?
No, especially like this, like April 15th, that time is like when I'm going to be starting my field season.
Yeah.
So your girl's not going to have the time.
This feels like it might be a fun game to play in October.
This is like a cozy, like, cuddle up when it starts getting too cold outside game. And then by then they'll have fixed all of the bugs, if there are any.
If there are any, come on. A Tiny Sticker Tale is now out on iOS and Android. So if you were wanting to play that game, but you didn't want to play it on PC or Mac or Switch or Steam Deck, now you can do it on your phone or your tablet.
Mm-hmm. It does look very cute, like using stickers to design landscapes, but also like collect little critters and stuff. It showed someone like putting a fishing pole sticker on a spot where there was like a black like space, like a, you know, like in games when you're fishing and there's like a shadow. They put like a fishing pole sticker on it, and then when they clicked it again, it was a fish. It was very cute.
Yeah.
But yeah, not my bag.
Next, we have a bunch of updates for games. So first of all, we have Paleo Pines. They have released the 1.3 update, which includes chocolate eggs and new dinosaur colors. They're like grayscale.
Well, so I think what they're doing is they're currently grayscale, like so that you can't see it because it's like supposed to be a mystery.
Yes.
But like in the thing, it has fake. It has like letters.
Yeah.
Almost like a hangman.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Thing.
Like hangman, yeah.
And I legit cannot think of like I'm like looking at all of these colors and I'm like, what? Like what color has two S's in the middle of it?
So apparently the Stegosaurus is sunflower.
Okay. How do you know this?
Comments.
Oh, look at you.
The T-Rex is Tyrant.
Like Tyrant colors? Are these
That doesn't
confirmed
fit.
or are these people?
These are people saying in the comments, but I presume they're saying they found them. So I'm presuming in game it tells you what they are when you found them.
Tyrant does fit.
No, it doesn't. Tyrant. Tyrunt.
UNT.
Yeah, but there's only two spaces after the R. Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong one. Tyrunt.
Oh,
yeah.
The other T-Rex
Shut up.
is the one with two S's Nissan, because I really want it to be Nissan.
I don't know.
Let me click.
The comments are mixed, shall we say.
Yeah.
Some people wanting more updates on different things. So if you want some other colored dinosaurs, they're not black and white. Apparently, I misunderstood that. And you want chocolate eggs, go update your Paleo Pines now.
It says that there's only 5 chocolate eggs, and they basically like max out or make a. I almost said Pokemon. Make a dinosaur your friend like really easily. So, yeah.
Instantly befriend.
Yep.
Instant befriending.
I mean, anyone that gives me chocolate is instantly my friend too. Let's be real. So.
Traveler's Rest have a fishing update. I just realized I haven't written with it. Yes, it is out now.
Mm-hmm.
So this adds a new fishing system. It's not just the first fishing system, because Traveler's Rest keep adding things in that were like, how did you not have this already? But no, they did have a fishing system before. This is just a new one.
Okay.
And also new recipes, new decorations, a new area, and new characters.
Yep. So the new area was the beach, and there are new characters associated with the beach. Again, not a game I'm playing or likely to play, but I did really like one of the decorations that looked like it's like a painting that has a teal border on it. I think it's part of the decorations are like the beach set decorations.
Yeah.
Looks very good. Looks very cute.
Yeah, I think I'm starting to think that farming games are not a great early access candidate because, like, I mean, if I'd played Stardew the first time and you just couldn't go to the beach, that'd be weird, and I'm not sure I'd continue playing that game.
Yeah. Well, and then like also you have at least a little bit of understanding of what the mechanics are. And so like if you, for example, don't really like the mechanics, but it's like say that you later would have played the game and you didn't like the mechanics, but you really liked the exploration, then you don't really have that in the early access. So it kind of like limits that. I don't know. I think early farming games are weird to have in early access for sure, because like hitting like a time wall or hitting a like not having all of the features
Or even just story suddenly stopping.
Hint, hint.
Which we may talk about later.
Perhaps. Talk about it later. Yeah, that was also a little weird. So,
yeah.
But yeah, cool that they're still doing stuff.
Yes. One Lonely Outpost. Oh boy, do we love a post like this? So they've apologized for the silence. They believe in their game, and then I've put in brackets, your mileage may vary.
I was wondering what that meant.
Whether you believe in the game or not is up to you. Do you want to? You've quoted it, but do you want?
Yeah.
Or should I quote this and you can just say what your response was? Because I think maybe that works best. So
okay, go for it.
Codey has quoted some of the article, and it's, "We know many of you have concerns about the amount of content currently in game and how long it has taken to get where we are today. It has been a long and bumpy road, but we wholeheartedly believe in the path ahead and are excited to begin sharing upcoming content now that we have handled the majority of bugs and made some highly requested quality of life improvements."
Okay.
Yeah, it does. It feels like a weird, like, at this point, right? Like if you're being silent for months and then you're coming back, I think that you need to give people something. And yeah, sure, you've got quality of life improvements, but like there's 5 different updates in this, but like it's added run toggle with left shift or L3.
Or like you don't freeze in this certain spot anymore, or like, it's
nothing is particularly. It's now possible to manually save your game. Like nothing is like, wow, this makes this game so different and so exciting. Like I feel like if you're gonna come back with something, you need to come back with something big. Not here's 5 releases with a few quality of life fixes and a bunch of bug fixes, and I promise we have more stuff coming.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of these should have just been like small patches that like there were 5, like it's like patch 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And it's just so much in all of those patches. And like, why didn't each of these patches just have like a small post along with them? Like, why did you not, like, why? I guess I don't understand if they're releasing these all now. Like they just hit like a mass release the patches button. Or
no, they have been releasing them over time,
but they haven't been.
They've been posting them on Steam.
Okay,
so there is that. But yeah, I mean, the last one was in January. The last update, which they don't even talk about here. They don't even talk about that update in this post, and that was nearly 2 months ago. Their communication really needs to improve. That's what I'm saying.
And they said that it's going to. They said that going forward, they're going to be a lot more transparent and give updates more frequently. And that's great. Do that.
Cool. I don't believe them. I don't. No, if you say if you say that our communication is going to improve, you need to communicate better in that post. Yeah. They're not even doing that.
Yeah. So
the game came into early access on the 28th of June last year. And as of now, every update has been basically just quality of life improvements. They haven't done any new content in, what is that, 8 months?
Mm-hmm.
This is why I'm saying that, you know, games aren't in early access for 3 months.
Yeah. Well, positively optimistic, cautiously optimistic, perhaps.
Okay, if you say so.
Just respond. Okay.
I mean, this game has had issues for quite a while, right? Because it got the original development team were essentially pushed out by the publisher, and the publisher put in a new development team, and then they completely changed the art style, and then they released an early access in June. They basically haven't updated anything other than some bug fixes and quality of life improvements in 8 months. They're now saying that they are going to get better at communicating after months of saying nothing. Mm-hmm. They don't communicate well in the post when they apologize about not communicating well. Mm-hmm. And every single comment on the post is, where's the Switch release? Mm-hmm. The Switch release, I don't think, is going to come. And if it does come, it's going to be terrible. I think this is just the standard now, is terrible Switch ports. You played Coral Island on Switch, right?
Yeah. Well,
How was that?
No.
You didn't.
I'm playing it on Game Pass.
Oh, yes.
I will say, Apico, good Switch port.
Yes.
Hashtag not all cottagecore games, but
fair.
But yeah, if you're struggling to communicate effectively at this level, and then you try and add a whole, I know from Elle talking about that, porting Apico to the consoles was a pain in the butt. So if you're already struggling with basic stuff, I'm just being a bit ambitious, perhaps, but.
Coral Island isn't on Switch yet, so they're probably having issues with that.
Yeah, I'm playing it on Game Pass.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think I'm mostly disappointed because I was originally very excited about this game because I think it could be really cool. I do own it. I haven't played it. I kickstarted it, and I haven't played it because I'm not enthused by it. And it's in early access, and they basically haven't done anything. So I'm not really sure why I would be enthusiastic about that at all.
Would you say that you're not mad? You're just disappointed?
I would say I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. Yeah, I would definitely say that. There's something about the new art style that's just weird. It's like bad Paper Mario. It's like if Paper Mario didn't look good.
Especially after playing Coral Island, I just don't think I like the sprite-ish looking games anymore.
Yep. Fair.
Stardew being the exception, I guess. But
yeah, I suspect so. I think so. Pixel art, I think, only really exists now for nostalgia, right? It's a thing that people do because it reminds them of the past. Mm-hmm. I think that probably the only reason you still like Stardew is because of nostalgia.
Yes.
But 100%. Not nostalgia for pixel art, nostalgia for Stardew specifically.
Correct.
Right? Stardew is not the best farming game anymore. That doesn't mean it's bad, right? It is, absolutely. It doesn't mean that Stardew is bad, and I don't think it should be drastically different from what it is. Mm-hmm. But it does mean that it is essentially nostalgia. And even when we get updates, and I'm absolutely going to play the 1.6 update, and I'm sure I'm going to love it, but a lot of that is because it's Stardew. If I hadn't played Stardew, and I was coming to Stardew now, I wouldn't be playing it. Mm-hmm. And that's okay. That's fine. We don't have to always like the same things. It's been 8 years since Stardew came out. You can't expect to like something forever. Mm-hmm. It's just a lot of games 8 years ago, well, probably more 7 years ago when it came out on Switch, decided to make that but X. And a lot of them are finding that it's really hard to make money that way, and it's really hard to make a good game. Why is it minus 100 Celsius in this game? There's a screenshot I'm looking at on Steam, and the guy's outside farming,
Is this one lonely outpost still?
Yeah. And it says minus 1,000 degrees Celsius.
1,000.
No, 100. Sorry, 100. Minus 1,000 wouldn't make any sense. That's below absolute freezing. Minus 100 degrees Celsius.
Isn't one lonely outpost like on a planet?
It's on Mars, yeah.
Yeah,
but,
it's very cold on.
Yeah, but I think is the point not that you're terraforming it, and he's out there without a spacesuit. Is he meant to be in a dome then? Is that the idea?
If he's in a dome and it is still negative 100.
Well, I'm presuming the minus 100 is on the outs. If you're in a dome, it's on the outside of it. But it doesn't look like that, and I'm just very confused as to why it's saying minus 100 and he's just outside without a suit on.
I mean, maybe they'll just wave it, hand wave technology. He took the warm potion.
Why is it exactly minus 100 as well? That's weird. Suspicious.
Yeah, I don't know.
Also, there's running water.
At minus 100? Are you sure it's water?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's watering crops with it, so. Minus 100, that's where, like, boiling water freezes immediately, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're not watering crops in minus 100.
You also shouldn't be alive in minus 100.
Yeah, well, yeah, that too. Like, if he was in a suit, sure, but still the watering wouldn't make any sense. Right, let's stop talking about this game.
Okay. Moving on.
Last thing, there's a romance update coming, right? Because that's all we need. It's absolutely definitely what we need in the space farming game is romance.
Can you romance aliens?
Stardew 1.6. We have the date. Stardew 1.6 is coming out on the 19th of March.
Wow.
That is
very close.
1 week after this, less than 1 week after this episode comes out. So I hope you're all excited. Mm-hmm. Interestingly, Concerned Ape did a interview with Polygon, and he said, I quote, "There's a lot more of the update than people think." And so I'm very intrigued to this because he's already told us a lot of things. So what's he been doing?
Yeah. Well, so have you read Brandon Sanderson books?
No.
Okay. There's an author named Brandon Sanderson, and like he went on vacation once for a little bit, and when he got back from vacation, he was like, "Hey, that was very restful. I wrote 4 more books." And like I feel like that's also how Concerned Ape is like he's like, I needed to take a break from making games, and so I made these other games. And I feel like so him saying that, I'm like, "Yep, makes sense." Like not surprised at all. People are probably going to be really excited. There's probably more than what he's saying, or he's just a content machine. He's just pumping it out. I also was really shocked. So I thought that he was like a secret of who he was, like secret identity type of thing. And so the picture in the Polygon article, the picture of him like at the Manhattan orchestra concert thing that they had. First of all, if I had known he was physically going to go, I would have gone. Second of all, not what I expected. A handsome dude. Yeah, I don't know. I was like, oh, he's making an appearance, and then very, very shocked. So, but
fair enough.
Yeah. Are you excited? Have you blocked out like a week?
A week. Blocked out some time for playing this game, and definitely haven't put a completely unrealistic timeline on myself. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, totally. It's all going to be fine. All going to be fine.
The sarcasm.
Sarcasm or just like fear?
Oh, hopefully not
sure.
Fear.
We'll see.
Yikes.
Love to stress myself.
Please don't.
Too late. Cool. Yeah. I really don't know what to think because like he's already said that there's a new major festival, 2 mini festivals, new late game content which expands on each of the skill areas, a whole bunch of new items and crafting recipes, Joja alternatives to some of the end game quests, 100+ lines of dialogue, winter outfits for the visitors, a new type of reward for completing billboard requests, support for 8-player multiplayer, a new farm type and new secrets, and he's still saying that we have no clue how
Like,
much there is. Like,
But wait, there's more. Like,
yeah, I'm really intrigued. It was funny. I was thinking the
overwhelmed.
other day, I'm going to start a new save for this update because he says that there's stuff all through the game that
Right.
he's added. When I really want to kind of experience that stuff as it comes rather than just getting dumped into it all in endgame. And I was like, oh, maybe I should start the save now, just like get it ready. And then I was like, no, I need to know what this new farm is before I
Gotta
decide
do the
what
new
I'm
farm,
doing,
yeah.
right? Like, not necessarily do the new farm, right? Because if it was something like the beach one where you can't use sprinklers, right? I'm not doing that. But
What
we'll
if?
see.
What if it's a blimp,
In the sky.
a sky farm? I
What
don't
is
know.
this? What is this rune factory?
I have no idea. I just like thought of that in my brain, and I was like, that'd be really funny. So if it comes out and it's a blimp, I'm just really smart.
Well, we'll
My
see.
subconscious was very excited.
We will see.
Yeah.
I do. Your point about like taking a break from making games to make games is very funny because 100% what happened was he had an idea for a new game, so he started working on that, and then as he was doing that, his brain went, "What about all these other things you could do to your other game?"
Yeah.
And so he paused and went and did them.
Yeah. Some of these people are so freaking creative, and like I bow to them because the ability to just churn out things and things that are enjoyable, like it's just magical, and I am incapable of doing that.
Yeah.
The creation of just like constant.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, you look at Stardew, and it's like everything he adds is good. Mm-hmm. You're just like, I don't.
He can't miss. I mean, he probably could miss. Like, there's probably
We'll
something that
see.
he could do.
Eventually.
But I feel like he's gonna let it die the hero versus having the game live long enough to see itself become the villain.
Yeah.
I think we'll be fine.
We'll see. I guess.
Yeah. I will listen to the podcasts. I cannot get sucked back into that game. I have a field season to plan.
You know it's going to happen.
I know. I'm gonna listen to the podcast and just be like, dang it.
Next, we have Sugar Dew Island. This game, we talked about it a couple weeks ago. The name is stupid. We don't need to talk about the name again. I don't even. Well, okay, no, we do need to talk about the name again, because for some reason they addressed this in the Kickstarter. So okay. Point of our point of the news. That was words. Blah, blah, blah. Point of the news is that the Kickstarter's live and it has hit the base goal. So the game's being made. Apparently, it's coming out in August this year. So whatever.
1.0?
Good question.
Okay.
We'll find out. It doesn't say. Well, no, it does actually, because it says, there's an early access tier, and they say we expect that you'll be able to play 2 to 6 weeks earlier. Which, by the way, what a weird time. 2 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Like, what? That's not early access.
Well, so I guess that's like
Just paid.
the actual like word of early access. Like instead of it being early access being like a trial period, it's more of that you paid for it, so you're getting access to the game earlier than other humans.
Okay, right. If I have to put my money on it just now, early access is coming out this year. Main game's not coming out this year. We'll see.
You're putting your money down on a lot of things this episode.
I mean, it's not real money, right? Like, I'm not actually betting anything.
Okay.
Yeah. So the name. They said, I need to quote this because this is just stupid. Okay. They have. You know what? It's right. Okay. Wait. No. Right.
Get yourself settled.
You know that it's stupid when they have to have a part of their Kickstarter addressing the name, right?
Okay.
They say the name Sugar Dew Island, and then they have a little picture of your currency in the game and say an arrow that points to it and said, "This is Sugar Dew." Okay, great, fantastic, thank you. As our in-game currency is called Zuckertau, in German translates to sugar dew in English and is a central aspect of our game. Yep, that's how currencies work. It was crucial for us to include it in the game's name. Given the island setting, Sugar Dew Island was a natural choice. Wow, congratulations. Your imagination knows no bounds. You have a currency and you're on an island. Well done.
Just like my favorite game, Money Valley and Gold Island.
It's just. While we're aware of similarities to other titles, although it wasn't intentional, after much deliberation, we unanimously agreed that Sugar Dew Island best encapsulates the game.
What I hear from that is we don't have an imagination and we don't want to come up with anything else.
And then they're like, we also asked the community in a big survey, and the majority thought the name Sugar Dew Island was more fitting than Sugar Drop Island. And I'm like, okay? Like, those aren't the only two possibilities, though. It's not like it has to be one or the other. What are you doing?
German currency island.
I don't...
Yeah, it's funny.
Like, you could have just literally called it, like, Dew rather than Sugar Dew, right?
Yeah.
Like, keep the currency called Sugar Dew, right? You could call it Dew something, right? Like, and that would be less bad. Whatever.
Yep.
The other thing that really amused me about this Kickstarter is in their platforms, they say, we're currently planning to release the game on PC/Steam. I don't know why that's a slash, but...
Yeah, it's weird.
Plus Steam Deck, Nintendo Switch, and PS5. An Xbox version depends on the success of this Kickstarter, as well as porting to an upcoming Nintendo console. They're gonna, and they haven't put up their stretch goals, but it sounds like what they're saying is a stretch goal will be porting to the Switch too. Don't do that. Console doesn't exist yet.
Yeah.
Don't do that. You have no idea what this console's going to be. You cannot guarantee. You cannot guarantee that you will be on this console when you don't even know what it is.
Well, and also, doesn't it depend on, like, if they actually want it to be on? Like, you have to, like, I'm pretty sure you can't just, like, throw money at Nintendo and be like, let me put my game on your console.
No.
Like,
But, I mean, basically, Nintendo lets anyone on now, right? Like, unless there's something very specific that they don't like, they basically let anybody, you know, like, which I think is the better way to do things than what they had been doing previously, which was really difficult to get on the 3DS. But yeah, like, you just literally have no idea. You've no idea what this console is going to be. You have no idea if it would even make sense. You don't know that there ever is going to be another console for certain. Mm-hmm. Do not promise to be on this console.
I was going to say, have they announced another console?
No. No, they have not.
Did I miss a big...
No, you did not.
announcement?
Also, there's a very big chance that when the Switch 2 does come out,
is
that
it called the Switch 2?
No, we don't know that. Of course, we don't know that. That's just what people are referring to it as just now.
Okay.
I wonder, do you think they called the Wii U because somebody said the Wii 2 and they misheard it?
It's going to be the Switch 2.
Switch Dew.
Oh, and then they have to be on it.
Switch Dew Island.
Switch Dew Island. Just double down that it's going to be on the new Switch thing and that they're going to call it the Switch Dew.
Oh, like, at this point, just ask an AI for a name. It's a bad name. Right. Whatever. Sugar Dew Island. Somehow it's getting a lot of traction from people, and I really don't understand why.
It looks cute.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like it's doing... Okay, right. Full disclosure, I have backed this game. Of course I've backed this game, right? Like, you don't need to get into this. If it weren't for this podcast, I wouldn't be backing this game because nothing about this is exciting.
That you know. What if it's on the Switch Dew?
Switch Dew. I just, like... I mean, it looks cute. I will agree with that.
Yeah.
But everything else looks pretty standard. The only different thing is, you can run a shop. And that has never been done well.
I liked running the shop in Garden Paws, which is a game that Bev and I covered.
Yeah, I didn't try that one, so I guess it could be good in that, but I highly doubt it.
I mean, it was just fun because you just like throw stuff up in the shop, and then there's like a never-ending line of the little characters that come up and just buy all your stuff, and then you have to like keep putting new stuff out and accepting all their money and stuff. But like, and it's really cute. But I wouldn't say it was like the best.
See, my problem with running a shop is generally you're either very limited in how much you can sell, or you have to haggle and you have to figure out the right way to get enough money, which is just annoying. Or it takes time out of your day, which is just without adding any fun gameplay, right? Like, sure, it's adding some gameplay, but that doesn't mean that it's fun gameplay.
That's fair.
Mineko's Night Market was fine, but only in so much as like that was a thing that happened as part of the week. Like it was a process where, okay, now is when you go to the night market.
Yeah.
And there were lots of things that happened there. And also you went and sold stuff. You chose the things to take with you and you sold them. And they did the haggling in such a way that you can make a lot of money very quickly.
Yeah.
I think that's what it needs to be. Not just like, oh, you can make 10% more if you know the right thing to do. No, it needs to be, you can make 5 times as much if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like it needs to be worth it.
Yeah. What if it, so I could foresee like a game that you run a shop with friends. So you have someone that like is the storefront manager and organizes everything, and then you have someone who like supplies the store.
Bagsy, not the shop owner. I don't want to do that.
Dude, I want the shop owner. I would love that.
You can do that then.
Okay, cool. When we get shop owner villa game, the game.
Already a better name than Sugar Dew Island. I nearly called it Sugar Dew Valley. That's part of the problem, right?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I feel like I'm finishing everything recently with, let's stop talking about this game.
Let's just move on before my hope in humanity goes.
Yeah, if you are interested in this game, go back it. If you're not, then that's fine. We're not going to talk about it until there's something new about it. I'm not going to keep you up to date. I'm not going to keep you up to date on the Kickstarter every moment of every day.
You backed up.
I did, yes, because I'm giving the people what they want.
Okay.
Because apparently what the people want is my pain. Well, look forward to next week's episode if that's what you want.
Oh, no.
Pixel Shire have announced that they're coming to PS5 and Switch. So that's cool. Okay. It sounds like they did. Well, I mean, what is good about this is I'm pretty sure the game's done or almost done. And they wanted to get it all together and all ready before they actually said they were going to do it. I don't think they'd ever said anywhere that they were going to be in these two consoles until now. So it sounds like they've done everything the right way. And it looks like, at least on my shop front, everything's listed in pounds, so I don't know exactly how this is working, but at least here it says the game is set to launch in summer 2024. So, sounds to me like it's all coming together at the same time. They're going for, cross-platform simultaneous release. This Steam says 2024. I suspect in a month or so, a month or 2 months or something, we'll get some idea. We mentioned at the end of last year that they'd said they weren't going to do early access and just release 1.0 in 2024. So
here we are.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But I think they're doing the right thing if they've got it all ready and they're going to release it all at once, and they haven't told us until they know they can definitely do it, which is good. So there we go. Forager. My word, never thought I'd be talking about Forager again. So, a little bit of history with Forager. Forager came out in 2019, I think the first version was. I'm going to tell you. Yeah, April 2019, the first version of Forager. Fantastic. They released 3 updates to the game with significant content, and then they were working on a multiplayer version and a multiplayer update, which in 3 years ago, so 2021, they cancelled the multiplayer update.
Okay.
Then there was a little bit of they said around, kind of people who had previously been on the team not being happy with the main guy, and some nothing like nothing like
Right.
abuse or anything like that. Just more kind of not being a great person, and maybe being offered things that were not great and leaving the team, and etc. etc.
Okay.
And then we got a post nearly 2 years ago that said, "Don't worry, Forager is not abandoned. We'll hopefully have some news for you this year." So that was 2022.
Okay.
May of 2022, that was the last thing. And then yesterday, as we're recording, so the Wednesday, the 6th of March, 2024, we suddenly get a post from Hopfrog, the creator, saying, "I hope everyone likes adventure," and a screenshot of something with the Forager guy in it. And another comment that said, "You guys have no idea how much stuff I have to announce." So there's nothing much to say at this point because they haven't announced anything.
Okay.
Except the fact that they have stuff to announce.
But we were ghosted for 2 years?
We were ghosted for 2 years, and now suddenly he's back.
I don't know if I'm ready to be heard again. I didn't play this game, though. You played this game, right? You enjoyed it?
I did. I really liked Forager.
Yeah.
I really liked it. I'm not really sure, like, the Forager guy is big enough to hold up a franchise, which is what it looks like. Like this screenshot that I will post in the show notes if I remember. Like this isn't the Forager game, right? Like that's not how the game looks. So I don't know what this is.
Okay.
It's not Forager. Forager is like a top-down isometric game. This is a side-on platformer, maybe? I don't know what we're looking at here.
It's giving platformer vibes.
So I don't know what we're looking at. Whether it's... I mean, it could, I guess, be Forager. It could be a specific mode in Forager. It could be a Forager 2. It could be something else. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not what Forager was anyway. But that is the Forager guy.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, as the Forager fan of the pod, what does this do for your heart?
Well, I don't know because I don't know what it is. I don't know what to think. Like if it's like, oh, here's a roguelite, then no. Like I don't know what is coming. If it's like, oh, here's a random game that you don't care about, but Forager guy is in it, then no, I don't care about that.
That's fair.
So yeah, I don't know. I need to see what we've got. We have no clue what it is, when it's coming, any of that. It's just a massive tease that says things are coming.
Forager guy is the next Smash character.
Sure, I'd play that for at least 10 minutes.
I'm not a Smash person.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's too random and too out of the blue not to mention, but we know nothing. So, Window Garden. Window Garden is a new game that is out now on iOS and Android, and apparently Codey's already played it.
I am playing it in this moment. I am tapping butterflies to earn gold. I mean, it's just a cute little, like, you have different rooms. I mean, I only have the one room right now, but, like, you basically have plants that you take care of. It tells you whether or not your plant is happy or not. So I only have one plant right now, and it is an aloe vera. And basically, it shows you how much it wants to be watered every day and how much sunlight it wants every day. And you capture sunlight by opening windows and tapping little sun icons, and then you can give them to your plants. And then you have a watering can, and you can collect water by tapping on things. And then you make sure not to overwater them. And the thing that I was really excited about this, so I typed out what is on the Apple store, because I have Apple, of what the game says, and it says, quote, Window Garden is a cozy game that allows you to create and decorate your own virtual indoor garden. With aesthetic cottagecore and wholesome gameplay, learn how to grow plants, succulents, fruits, and vegetables, mirroring realistic gardening experiences.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is the game that you just said you capture the sun and you feed it to your plant.
But I think that like what they're getting at is that it's realistic gardening. Like, you know, aloe vera wants this much water and this much sun. And so if you have an aloe, like now, if I were to go buy an aloe vera plant, I would know it doesn't want to be overwatered. It only wants like a moderate amount of water and to give it full sun. Like I would then know that. Which this is, if you remember, this is like what I asked Elle for, was a game that kind of has realistic, like indoor plant care to teach me how to take care of my plants, which thanks, Elle, you didn't make it, but I have killed very few plants lately.
Yeah,
I'm learning.
Elle's too busy making Frog Game.
That's true. Frog Game is really cute. It's called Mudborn. It's a play on Bloodborne. But yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, did you not get that? So yeah, like I haven't. Mud? They do like mud.
Oh,
they
there
do.
You go.
Sometimes they like hang out in mud. But yeah, so this is really interesting to me, like learning how to take care of plants and kind of, I mean, again, like you're saying, like it's not realistic to like click on sunlight and whatever, but, just looking at the little page for my aloe vera and knowing that it wants moderate sun, or sorry, it says full sun and, moderate water is good. So I literally did not know that this game existed until I was reading through the show notes. So I don't have too much to mention on it. It looks cute. I also love, it's very tongue-in-cheek that the person is like, hey, you're taking over my house and I have a bunch of plants in here. Would you like to take my plants? Like they are a little wilty, but you know, if you could take care of them, that'd be great, because then I don't have to take them with me. And you're like, okay. And then it's like, hey, I forgot your name. And you never give it your name. You're just like, the little character is like, I forgot your name. And you're like, maybe I'll tell you later. Or they just kind of like all the moments where you give the person your name, you just gloss over it and just be like, meh, doesn't matter. Which is funny to me. But yeah, I will, I mean, perhaps I will cover this. Which
no promises.
Only something I'm saying now. I mean, I could cover it all by myself. But yeah, it looks cute. I am enjoying it.
Awesome. Cool. That's the news.
Woo.
Only took us an hour. We could have just done that, but no, we're going to talk about more, because we're going to talk about our Coral Island hopes and dreams. So, me and Cody have both played a lot of Coral Island. Probably me more than you, I suspect.
Probably. I don't really know how to look up how many hours I have in it. But yeah, probably.
I'm at about 100 hours now.
Yeah, you win.
Woo. So, just a little background. Yeah, so the game 1.0 came out in November last year. And the roadmap has 3 upcoming updates, of which I saw them comment to someone on Twitter saying they expect to get 1.1 and 1.2 out this year. So it's not going to be super fast. That's fine. Just, it is what it is. 1.1 basically includes all of the stuff that I think should have been in 1.0. So it like actually gives you Merfolk stuff. It gives you the Town Rank S, which didn't exist, adds access to the savannah, adds the buffalo and ostrich, and adds the tourist system, which also includes the backer NPCs, which we talked about in the last episode. Which, yeah, stop thirsting over the real people that they're putting into the game. It's still weird. Stop it.
Yeah, people were pretty thirsty. Though I also liked the fact that some people were like, why is there only one guy? And like all these other people are either non-binary or female. And I was like, maybe because
they're the ones that backed.
We're the ones that backed it. Like, this game has an audience.
Oh dear. A 1.2 is basically the multiplayer update. It's also apparently adding a Merfolk festival, which is interesting. And then the 1.3 is children. I mean, yeah, fair. So we're going to talk about what other things that we would want, assuming that they would continue to develop after these updates, which obviously it's important to note that they don't have to. I think if they get to the end of this 1.3 update and they say that's the game done, that's fine. You know, I think it's important for us as game players to accept when games are done, and that not every game is Stardew Valley, nor should it be. And games generally will not be supported for 10 years after they're released. That's not a thing that people do. But if they get to 1.3 and they decide that they want to add more, what do we want? Codey, you give us one thing.
Okay, so a couple of ours kind of overlap.
That's fine.
But the first thing that I thought of when I saw, like, what do we want is to have more pets at one time. So when I like went, so first of all, for a while, you can't access a pet adoption.
Yep.
I think that you have to like reach a certain town rank to access it. If
I wouldn't know because I forgot. I didn't know it existed until you told me, and I'd already... Okay. I was way up there already.
Yeah, I don't remember what it is, but you trigger it. And so I finally was able to adopt a pet, and one of the dogs is exactly like my Australian Shepherd. It's Bode, I think is the dog's name, but I renamed her Stella. It looks straight up like my dog, so I immediately got that dog. And then I went back the next time I had enough money, and I was like, okay, now I'll buy another bed and I'll get this other thing. Or like I'll buy a tank and I'll get the bearded dragon, because my goodness, the bearded dragon. And then, yeah, you can't. You can only have one pet at a time. And I feel attacked. I want to be an animal hoarder. And why can't I do that?
Yeah, I agree. I've had this down as well. It feels like a weird restriction. And it also feels like something that shouldn't take too much work for them to give us such a significant update. Mm-hmm. So it's like, yeah, especially weird that you can buy multiple beds and only one pet. Like, that's just weird. Mm-hmm. I would also add to this that I think it'd be nice if they did something. Mm-hmm. Like, it just kind of feels like they're cosmetic, and I don't think it's a good thing to be putting out to the world that pets are cosmetic.
Yeah. I don't really know what else. So, like, I'm trying to think of, like, what my animals give to me in the real world.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't need to be realistic, right? Like, I think it was Trio of Towns where your dog would just bring you random gems every so often.
Oh, that'd be cute, yeah. Stella
like, it doesn't need to be much. It doesn't need to be much. Like, one every week, one cheap thing. Like, it would just be a fun little thing that it would do.
The other thing, so I just got a pet bed and I put it in my house. And she never leaves the bed. She never goes anywhere.
Big mood.
Maybe she's just lazy. But I mean, do you have your pet inside, outside? What's your situation?
I can't remember.
Okay. Because I
I
was
haven't
just
played
curious,
it in a few months, so
like I was expecting that they'll kind of like in Stardew, like they'll roam around and then they'll come back to their bed, but not that they're just 100% of the time going to be in their bed because they're roaming around, like they're all over town
yeah.
when they're not your pet. I would be fine with them still being all over town. It's just that they come home to me and give me cuddles.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was a little surprised by that. Like, I was expecting to see her running around my farm, and that's not happening. So, have more pets. Just an improvement to the pets in general. Have more pets. Have them do something. Have them leave their bed. I remember there was also a game where you had like a pet bowl that you had to feed them in. Was that Harvest Moon?
Stardew has that, doesn't it?
Probably. So yeah,
I don't think you had to water it, but if you filled it up, they would drink from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. Stardew, you do have that. It might be in other ones as well, but yeah, just double checked. It definitely is.
Yeah, so that's what I would say. That's my first thing.
My first thing is I would really like alternate farm layouts. I really like, this is one of the things that I think Stardew did amazingly and nobody else has done. No other game has done this, right? If you're going to look at Stardew, the biggest farming game, and you're going to say, yeah, this is great, let's do it better, why have none of you done alternate farm layouts? Yeah. And I think the Coral Island is the game that should do it because it's great, and I think it would be fantastic. I think I would also say, like, go even further and let me choose what my layout is, because it's like, I just want a big square, right? Like, I really hate how, like, the shape changes and there's like a bulge out here and and I know that's how like land works, that's fine. Mm-hmm. But I want a big square so that I can lay it out how I want. But whatever. I mean, I think it would be fun to have something different about it. Yeah.
Or like random generation. I don't know. Something.
Yeah, I mean, the fun thing about Stardew's farm layouts is like they all have different advantages and disadvantages. Like you've got the four corners and the mining one that give you some ore that you can mine, you know, on your farm. The disadvantage is that's less area to farm, but the advantage is that you can obviously get more ore, especially really quickly, right? Mm-hmm. So that's the advantage of them. Random generation, procedural generation has a big, like, you don't get to choose. You don't get to go, oh, this is what I want to do. Like, I will take the benefit of this with the disadvantages that it also gives. It just goes, here you go. Here's a bit that you don't want in your farm. I don't think that's great.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. And I guess like in Stardew, they do it in the way that if you can have different resources that spawn in your island, which is cool. But yeah.
What's your next one?
My next one is so the thing that I really love about this game is that there are non-binary characters and queer relationships, and so I would like to have more either non-binary or gender fluid characters in general. And currently, there's two non-binary characters. There's Dippa and Raj, and Dippa is married, so non-romanceable. So the only romanceable character that is non-binary is Raj. And they own the coffee shop, and honestly, I've been going for Scott, but I am now torn. Because I looked up a little bit more of Raj's page, and they are... okay. So yeah, I mean, I would just like more of that. I like that they have that, that as an option in the game. Maybe some of these backer visitors will be, I guess, are they romanceable? I can't remember.
They're not.
Okay. Nay mind. But, yeah, so that'd be cool. And then another thing that I wrote here, just as an aside, is or to break up marriages.
Look, you know what? I'm always going to back up that suggestion. Yeah. You know, I think that I think that it's fine.
Like if you go to someone in, like, you just go up to Dippa or something, or you go to one of the other characters. I don't know a lot of their names. We'll go up to a character, the carpenter husband, and you go up to him and you're just like, hey, how's your day? And he's like, I am upset. And then it ends up that like his marriage is dissolving, and then you can like console them through that and then possibly date them after. I think that like there's a way to do that.
I think there is a lot of interesting dynamics you could do in allowing you to break up any marriage in the game.
Yeah.
And I would absolutely expect that some are easier than others to break up, right? Mm-hmm. Like you wouldn't expect every marriage to be easy to break up.
Right.
But I think you could have a lot of fun dynamics in that. In so much as like, you know, maybe some people need to be, you know, flirted with, and they need to be felt like somebody cares about them because they feel like their spouse isn't caring about them anymore.
Yeah.
Or maybe you say maybe one is already mentally checked out and they don't need much convincing, and maybe one of them needs to, you know, think that their spouse is cheating on them, or, you know, there's so many things, and you could even be the person that does that. You know, you could tear them apart from both ends. There's loads of, and I know this, there are people who are gonna absolutely hate, I know you people, you don't like the way that I really want this thing. I just find it fascinating. I find people interesting, and obviously this is something I would not do in real life. That's games for you, but I find the challenge of that really interesting, right? Like my first marriage in Stardew was Haley, because Haley seemed like the most difficult to get to know, and the one that felt like most of a challenge, and that's the only place where I really find interest in these things. And I suspect that's probably why I went for Lily in Coral Island, because she's pretty much a loner, right? And I felt like that would be the biggest challenge as well. So I just think it's really interesting, and so yeah, I'm gonna back you up on that one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, or like, so I think there's another game. I don't think it's Coral Island. I cannot remember. We talked about it once upon a time, but there's a character in a game that is coming up that is an older human. Like, not having all of the marriageables be 20-something hotties, basically. And because like you can be married and be unhappy, and it's like, have it just mutually be like, you know what, this isn't working for us. And it doesn't have to be this huge heartbreaking thing. Like, you're not a freaking homewrecker for doing this. Like, but even just being the friend that can tell one of the characters like, hey, like, you don't seem happy. And then you're like, my gosh, I'm not. And then they talk to their partner and they're like, wow, they're not either. Or like a character maybe that was married before. Like I was married in the real.
There is one. What's her name? One of the twins is divorced.
Okay. Well, good on you for that. But yeah, so I think this is a game that, or the game, at least in my mind right now, that has the potential for kind of allowing for that kind of stuff and like breaking the mold in that, you know, just because you get married doesn't mean happily ever after, and it doesn't mean that your issues go away. And it doesn't, and that people in their 30s can need a relationship too, or older.
But also, a relationship doesn't make you a full human.
Correct.
Also important to point out. Single is valid. Yes. I will agree with you on everything you said, but I will also say, let me be a homewrecker if I want to be as well.
Correct, yeah.
I think my point was just like, it doesn't always need to be that. It doesn't need to be a massive thing, but I think it would also be fun if that was a possibility as well.
Okay.
And I think that would be fun, right? Like if every couple had a specific way to break them up, and some of them it was just saying the right thing as a friend. Yeah. Because they already know that that's not working, and you're just there to help them work through that. And some of them, it's other more complicated things. I think that would be fun.
Yep.
I would also add, I would like more dateable characters, specifically Senja. I would like Senja to be a dateable character, or at least just even get to know her, even have any dialogue at all. I need to know about her. I'm fascinated, right? Because she's in the den of, what's it called? The den of thieves or whatever. The group of people that do the monster hunting.
Well, and I saw her around town as well. Like,
yeah, she doesn't live in the town. She lives somewhere else. She comes here for work, and I'm just really fascinated by that. I want to know more about her. Yeah.
Wonder what if she comes from the savannah? What if
possibly.
What if the savannah opens
That's possible.
That possibility.
Possible, but I still don't think she's dateable though. I think that's, but I would like her to be. My next one is, I want ways to actually interact with your spouse. So like once you get married, nothing really happens. Your spouse doesn't really do anything, and they're like, they just exist in the house and just kind of stand there the entire time. And very occasionally they will give you a present when you talk to them.
Okay.
And they have like 10 lines of dialogue. It feels like they become less of a person when you marry them. And what a bad message that is.
I mean, that's how it works, right? You take two.
It's not how it should work.
You take two fully interesting people and you make one somewhat interesting and one lesser shade of a human.
I mean, I will say that does happen. I think that's not healthy.
No, if I just described your relationship, evaluate things.
Yeah, maybe. I would like them to exist as a human in the world, like even leaving the house, because as far as I can see, Lily never leaves my house anymore.
That would break my heart, like, especially because I'm wooing Museum Man, and like if he just was never doing museum stuff anymore,
there's no way that will happen.
How heartbreaking though.
Yeah. It may well be because of the one I've chosen. Like Lily mostly spent time around her house and mostly like occasionally went out, but like there, at least when she was in her house, she was doing her job. She doesn't do anything in the house, like at all. She stands next to the bed and does nothing the entire time. And I think it's my biggest disappointment with this game is how nothingness it is.
So you're telling me we can't have two pets? It's just that one of them is a spouse?
Oh, no. No, Cody.
That's all that the pets do.
No.
It's just stand by their bed.
No. I'm hoping this gets fixed in the next update, because I do know that the lines of dialogue are nearly doubling in the game.
Wow.
So I'm hoping I'm hoping that this changes stuff, but we'll see, I guess.
That'd be
all right.
Cool.
What's next?
One of my biggest downfalls in relationships in all of these games is understanding how to increase friendship by giving gifts. Because I know that gift giving is something that it increases your friendship level a lot more than just talking to them. And so I always try and like figure out what they want. But for some characters, it's like not very obvious. Like, how am I supposed to know that X person likes Y thing? For some people, it's more obvious. I mean, so for Museum Man, I've just been giving him artifacts, and every single time he's like, I love it. And I'm like, well, yeah, of course you do. You're a museum man. But like, if I wanted to make him food, I don't know what kind of food he likes. And it's not really something that they ever mention in their dialogue that I have seen.
Yeah,
where they're just like, man, I could go for a salad right now.
Yeah, if you give them something that they like, it will show in their bio in your thing. But yeah, there's no hints.
Yeah,
as
but you
far as
have
I
to
can
like
see up
do
front.
it first.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying they have something, but it's not good enough. I agree.
Yeah, but if like you went to the museum and found Scott's like journal or something and invaded his privacy and read it, and he was like, "Man, I could kill for a salad right now," or like he has a picture of a potato with a heart around it, and you're like, oh cool, he loves potatoes. I don't know, something that like made it obvious. I'm assuming he doesn't love potatoes. He's a gym rat.
Potatoes
So
are one of the best carbohydrates you
carbs.
can eat, though.
You're right, but they generally like protein.
Yeah, I know. You
Though
gotta eat something.
my gym rat really likes donuts. Um. So yeah,
Fair.
that's something that I would really like is some indication, like maybe even just talking to someone and having, because I think there's what game? My brain is potato. There's a game that I was playing recently that had it so that like you could talk to someone and be like, hey, do you know what this person likes? And then they'd be like, yeah, they really like this. And so it kind of like does that. And I just was like, wow, this is a way better mechanic than in other games. So I cannot for the life of me figure out what game that is. Oh well. So yeah, just some indication or some idea, or maybe like them saying, oh, it was Palia. It was Palia. Where like you can talk to someone and they can be like, oh, my son really likes whatever. And they're kind of like little Easter eggs that you drop. And it reminds me of, did you ever play Banjo-Kazooie?
No.
Throughout the game, there's like these trivia answers about one of the characters. And then near the end of the game, you literally do like a game show style thing. And the character is like going to kill you if you don't answer questions about her correctly. And it's things like, what was the name of my band that I was in high school? And throughout the game, like her sister is saying like, my sister sucks. And she was in this band that was called this thing. And so you kind of have to like write these things down, like as you go. And I would do it if I could about what people want. So yeah, that me. I also just suck at giving gifts in real life as well. So this is not specific to games.
Fair enough. I want new areas to explore. Now, I know we've got the savannah coming, but I want other areas as well. I don't know what I want them to be. I just want some more areas. It's not that the town feels small, but I feel like it could be bigger.
Okay. It does. To me, it feels huge. Like this place. The first couple times I walked around, I was like, I am lost. I had to open up the map multiple times, but I get that. I was trying to... Sorry, go for it.
I agree. I think to start with, it does feel quite big. So these are things that I think you would unlock as you go, right? I think it would be too overwhelming for them to be available at the beginning.
Okay.
But I do think, just as a side note, the map is very good for helping you not feel as lost. I think it's very good for helping you figure out your way around. And, you know, I'm now at the point where I can get to where I want to get really quickly. Not least because of the warp points.
Yeah, those help a lot. I do really like the warp point system in this game. I think like along with that like new area thing, I think it would be really cool. Like one of the things about these games that I kind of don't like as much is the fact that it's just all the same constantly. Like I wonder if there would be a way for them to make like a procedurally generated hike or something, or like like kind of like the caves, how the caves are like not procedurally generated, but they're like randomized. No,
they
every
are.
time.
No, they are procedurally generated. That's the correct use of the term there.
But they're also like the caves are what even are the caves for? Like it doesn't make any sense to me.
What do you mean?
So like the cave, like they're just for getting more resources, right?
Yes.
But like I just want more. Like as you progress through the rooms, things would get better quality, but that doesn't happen, correct?
That's why you have different mines in this one. So the progression is unlocking the other mines. Yeah.
Because I would just think like have the cave. Oh, sorry. I mean caves like I guess it's the same as caves in the mining system, but also in the ocean.
Oh, the cave. Oh, yeah, no, I hate the caves. Pointless.
they're
Yeah, make them actually nice, fun, and useful. I went in one. I spent like 20 minutes going, "What on earth is happening? I'm just getting trash everywhere.
Yeah.
There's nothing. I'm expecting there's something coming in the Merfolk update because they just feel like they're It feels like everything else in the Merfolk area. It just feels unfinished and missing a huge amount of things.
Yeah. Like if it would, the further into the cave you get, the underwater cave you get, like the better quality items get dropped. As you advance through the rooms or whatever, that would be awesome. But right now, it just
anything
seems...
that's not trash.
Yeah, because it's all trash. So it's all. Anything. I mean, you can get like chests and the.
Can you actually? Because I'm pretty sure I went through like 20 or 30 of them and found nothing but trash.
No, you do. You do. Like I've gotten a couple, but like it's not very often, I guess. I don't know. It
needs to be better. Whatever it is, correct. It needs to be better. And I'm hoping there's more coming in that, because they do talk about in the 1.1 update, one of the things is ocean farming and ranching. And so hopefully that also means the mining in there is going to be better as well. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
We will see. So yeah, like that was an addition to yours. So my next thing is, don't get me wrong, mad respect to them for the insects that they have in this game. They have a lot of different butterflies and moths.
What was that word you were trying to say there?
Lepidopterans. It is the order that includes butterflies and moths.
Okay.
The insect order.
So say that word again. So, because is this a word I can use instead of saying moth or butterfly and having someone correct me?
Yeah. So Lepidoptera is
Lepidoptera.
Yeah, is the order that includes moths and butterflies. So if you wanted to include both of those things, you would just say an insect in the order Lepidoptera, or just Lepidopteran.
Lepidopteran.
Yep.
Right, that's all. That's it. I'm never saying butterfly or moth again, because I don't know the difference. I don't care. Moving on.
Do you want me to tell you the difference?
No.
Okay.
Well, okay, right. I probably shouldn't say no, because then someone will complain in the Slack that you didn't say it. So tell me, what's the difference?
Okay, so the main difference is like when you're looking at a Lepidopteran and you're like, what the heck is this? Look at the antennae. If the antennae have a little club on the end of them, so they have their little feelers in the front, and if there's a little like extra bit at the end of it, it is a butterfly. And if it's just either a plain antennae or one that looks like a feather, then it's a moth.
I'll be honest, I'm not getting close enough to them to see the antennae.
Which is hilarious. I've heard of people that are afraid of butterflies and moths, and that's hilarious to me, because
it's not that I'm afraid of them. It's just that if I get close to them, they're going to fly in my face, and I don't like things in my face.
They usually don't fly in your face.
The number of times I don't know what that noise was.
Broke you.
The number of times I've had a butterfly or a Lepidopteran.
There you go.
Fly in my face is more than 5.
Non-zero.
And I do not like it. I would like things not to be in my face.
That's fair.
Right? It's second only to walking through a spider's web.
Mm-hmm. That is one of the worst things. When I'm working out in the field and I have a spider's web, like walk through one, that sucks.
It's horrifying.
Yeah. So that.
Yeah, you like the insects, great. What you've not said the main point about what
right.
Yet.
So they have a lot of those, and that's about it. They have a lot of butterflies, a lot of moths, a lot of caterpillars. They have a saddleback caterpillar, which I am in love. I'm so happy. If I hadn't gotten a wormpole tattoo today, I was going to probably get a saddleback caterpillar tattoo today. So like, I love that they have one. But where are my hymenopterans and my dipterans? Where are they at?
Just say the word. Say the word.
So Hymenoptera includes ants, bees, and wasps.
Bees.
Diptera is flies. So there is
fly. I love it. It's literally just called fly.
Yeah, and it's funny to me because like there are so so many flies. I
That's
am
the thing.
literally.
You could have chosen so many flies that normal people know flies, right? It's not like you know, if you blue bottle, just do a blue bottle. Everybody knows a blue bottle, right? Don't call it fly.
I am literally going in August to Costa Rica for 12 days to learn about flies. There are so many, and even then, I'm like, how are they going to fit all of the flies into 12 days?
It's okay. Flies are small.
They can be large, but they're mostly small. But like, how are they going to fit all those families in there? They're not. And so like, I'm so happy they really respected lepidopterans. They did a great job.
Bizarre.
There could be more. There could be more.
I can't
There's
get over
also
the fact that it's just called fly.
There's also wasp, which I am
Are you going to tell me it actually isn't a wasp or something?
No, no, they nailed it. It's
Okay.
specifically a vespid wasp, so whatever. But there are other wasps. Like there are other things that you could have. So just in expanding and Coral Island, I have experience consulting as a consultant for video game people for helping improve insect diversity within video games. So reach out to me. I would specifically like to see bees. There's no bees. Period.
Yeah, I just find it so funny. It's like they've got the Assam silk moth.
Oh, yeah.
The banded woolly bear, the blue morpho butterfly.
Oh yeah.
and they have fly.
Yes.
Fly and wasp.
So in insects, there are the big four. It's the four orders that have the majority of the diversity. There's Lepidoptera. They nailed it. There's Coleoptera, which is the beetles. There's some beetles, but there's not a ton of beetles.
Yeah, at least they have multiple. Like they don't just have beetle.
Yeah. And then there's Diptera and Hymenoptera, so the ones that I just mentioned. And they have like one member of each of those gigantic orders.
Fly and wasp.
Fly and wasp. So,
but they have the western tiger swallowtail and the tiger swallowtail butterfly.
Yeah, and those are different things.
The spice bush swallowtail butterfly.
Which can be confused with, so the eastern swallowtail butterfly has a morph that looks like the spice bush. So like these are all like,
they also have snail.
They went ham on the butterflies. So for bees specifically, I'd love to hear some options. These are for free, Coral Island. Green sweat bee, mason bee, bumblebee, mining bee, and sweat bee. Those are all mostly native bees, or they are native bees, and they are generalizable. So just those are for free. Just a little taste.
When you say native bee,
it's North America, I guess.
Is Coral Island based in North America?
I don't know. I don't know where You know what, Coral Island? Reach out to me. Tell me where you're based and where the island is supposed to be based. I'll give you some bees.
I'm pretty sure it's meant to be in Oceania.
Okay, then
or Southeast Asia, one of the two.
Then there's blue-banded bee. There's still carpenter bees. You could do carpenter bees. There's still going to be bumblebees down there. Orchid bees. There's a bunch of stuff that you could do. Hit me up.
You could also just do bee. I'm so sorry.
You're doing so well with butterflies. Like, please, two more. No. Especially because they have. So, I'm gonna try and like limit this, but like, I understand that some of these insects are harder to catch than others, but they literally have insect traps in this game.
Yeah.
So like, butterflies are easy for you to catch with a net. So sure, I get it. Like, I get why you have a ton of butterflies, but you did add insect traps into this game. So like, you should be able to get these things. Rant over. What's your thing?
They literally have like 20 Lepidopteran in the game, and they have fly, wasp, snail.
And then I think they have a few different like spiders as well.
They do. They've got the wolf spider, the widow spider.
Yeah.
They have a few others as well.
Praying mantis, right? They have praying mantis.
That's not a spider, I don't think.
Well, no, but like that's another thing that they have.
I know. I'm just like, it's nearly 11 p.m. Just this is what we've got to.
Yeah.
Great. Bees. Get bees in the game. Also, maybe a second fly. I don't know.
Maybe go wild. Do a second fly. just for a treat.
I would like more ways to increase the town rank, because I feel like when I hit B, it became B. When I hit town rank B, buzz, it got really difficult to increase it any further, and I've got a whole 2 levels to go. So yeah, I would like more ways. I do. They're adding in a new way to do it, I believe. Attractions, but that's only once you've hit town rank A. So I need some way to make it.
I'm sorry. What? Attractions?
Yeah, you can build a ramen stand.
So let me get this straight.
Solar garden.
This is a game.
A gym.
Where? Okay, these aren't really. These are like amenities.
An arcade.
These are amenities.
Look, it's called attractions. I don't know what to tell you. They might be temporary things. I'm not sure. I'm guessing the solar garden isn't temporary. Maybe they're not temporary.
Okay.
They've not said much about it. Attractions is a new town rank category that becomes available after you've reached town rank A. You'll help the town build new attractions that will benefit townies and attract visitors. Okay, yeah, it sounds like they're permanent. Hot air balloon.
Mm-hmm. So, sky farming confirmed. I guess I'm just like a little blown away because I'm trying to, I feel like I missed something, because my understanding of the game was you come in and people are like, this person, boo, this person's trying to make this place a tourist place, boo. And then you like kick them out and like stop them from like tainting the water.
It's not touristy. It's they're trying to like extract oil, I think. Okay. Like it's capitalism. It's not tourism necessarily. But it's like
tourism
generic.
Is capitalism.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Tourism can be part of capitalism, but it's like, I'm just saying it's generic capitalism. It's like they are generic big business. Boo, big business. They're trying to take advantage of us without giving us any benefit, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So I don't think it's specifically tourism, and I don't think it's like capitalism as a whole, because obviously you are a farmer who is selling things and they have shops. So I think it's more big business.
Okay.
Exploiting in the environment.
Okay. I redact my outrage.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you said increase ways to increase town rank.
Yeah, I just want to be able to do that faster. Like, it feels a real drag at this point trying to get to rank A.
That's fair.
Which I suspect is probably deliberate, because if they haven't even implemented town rank S yet, the town rank S stuff is other things that you need to do to get there. So you presumably just need to 100% everything that is currently in the game to get to A, which, okay, fine, but that feels weird to me. But whatever.
Yeah. I mean, they got to throttle it, right? They got to make sure that you don't just guzzle the game super easily. But also,
I want to guzzle the game. Let me guzzle.
Podcast title, Let Me Guzzle. Okay. Next.
No.
Not next. My last thing. So I want more animals in the overworld.
Well, have I got good news for you? They are adding more. Yeah.
What?
I don't know. They haven't said, but they said that the current version has 25 and the new version coming out has 40.
But these are like farm animals, correct?
Nope, that's the wildlife.
Cool. Then I guess this is also redacted. Because I was just going to say, like, I love when you go into the ocean and there's like jellyfish and fish and turtles, like all just kind of like going around, and you don't interact with them. They just exist and they're just like there. And I don't really see that as much in the overworld. So like I don't see, or at least I haven't like encountered when you're walking through like the foresty area, like seeing a raccoon, fox, or deer, like just like run away from you. Or anything like a bunny, maybe.
Yeah, I think there are some, but yeah, maybe you just don't notice them as much.
Yeah, maybe they're few and far between. I don't know. But yeah, that was the other thing. I felt like, and this maybe also kind of like goes back to my pet and how my pet just sits on a bed. It makes, when you're in the ocean and you see those ocean critters like doing like living their life and going around. Like it makes it feel alive. Like it makes it feel more of like a lived in world. And so having more of that would be awesome.
Yeah.
And
Agreed.
not making them pets and not making them something that you can catch, because wildlife are not pets.
No. Hence the word wild.
Well, I'm saying, so I guess like this might not be as common in Scotland, but in the United States, people frequently are like, I'm going to tame a fox or I'm going to tame a coyote. And it's like that.
Oh, like that Netflix show with the lions. I know it's not the same thing, but.
No, but like that's basically what they do. They find these like animals that are still wild, like still not tame, not domesticated, could randomly hurt you, and then if they randomly hurt you, it's not your fault, it's the animal's fault, and then the animal gets euthanized.
I also feel like we've probably domesticated enough animals now. Like we don't need more different kinds of pets.
But people still try and do it. The exotic pet trade is still really ridiculous. So, and we at the Wildlife Center, we get animals all the time that are like, oh, this fox is too familiar with people because it was raised to be with people. Or people bring in a squirrel and they're like, oh, we found this squirrel a month ago when it was a baby and we fed it kitten formula and now it doesn't have fur and it's biting me. And it's like, well, yeah, kitten formula is not what you need to feed squirrels. It actually like messes them up, and they yes, once they get to a certain age, they will bite you. They're a wild animal. So animals that are in the overworld that are not pets and that you can't interact with, they're just like making the world look cool.
Yeah, don't do the Harvest Moon thing of there's a bear, you can pet it, don't pet the bear.
Don't pet the bear. Okay.
There we go, that's the title.
No, I want the guzzle.
I'm not putting that as a title. That is one way to get our family-friendly title revoked.
Okay. Well,
thank you, Cody, for joining me to talk about Coral Island. We'll see whether any of this comes to fruition. Coral Island devs, if you're listening, I love the game. Mm-hmm. We love the game. Mm-hmm. I think it's the best farming game ever. Please make it even more better.
Same. More betterer. And if you want Coral Island devs, I'm talking to you specifically, everyone else don't listen. If you want help designing insects, more insects in the game, you can find me at Hiking Beagle on Instagram and at Codey Mathis on Twitter. Yeah.
If you want to complain to me about how I constantly want to break up marriages in games, which, by the way, the best way to get me to stop talking about this is to actually give me a game where I can do it.
And then you're bored. And then you're like, well,
yeah, then I'm done. Exactly.
Okay.
If you want to complain to me about that, you can do that at the ScottBot on mastodon.scot and on Twitter. If you want to follow the podcast anywhere or just wherever, you can do that on Tumblr and on Twitter at THSPod. Mm-hmm. You can find links to all of that stuff on the website, harvestseason.club, where we also have a feedback form where you can, if you want to complain in a very specific way, you can do that there. If something goes into the feedback form, I read it out in the podcast. That's just what happens. One of the links you can find on the website is to our Patreon, patreon.com/thspod. We should have me and Kevin talking about the upcoming Pokemon game. That should be up on the Patreon when this episode comes out. Mm-hmm. I haven't edited it yet, but I should be doing that tomorrow.
Okay. But on the Patreon, if they subscribe on the Patreon, they'll get access to the Slack where you can see my shiny party Wurmple. Party hat Wurmple.
You also get sneak peeks and other things, like I've told people about the next episode. Well, some of it anyway. So if you want to hear about that, you can go with that there. And yeah, we have lots of other bonus episodes of the podcast. Mm-hmm. Much more to come.
When are we doing Eurovision?
Well, it's March.
Yeah, I don't know when.
So,
in May? Is that when it is?
May is when it happens. So
Okay.
we'll probably want to do the pre-episode in what, a
Early-
week before, 2 weeks before, something like that. Yeah, I was thinking about that the other day.
Okay.
Yeah, we should figure out. We're still missing like 6 songs.
So, listeners,
And
if
a massive
you really like
controversy.
Eurovision and you want to listen about that, that's another reason to do Patreon and get access to the greenhouse, because that's where we talk Eurovision every year. Because this is what, the 3rd year in a row that
Yeah.
the first year Al had me watch stuff from Eurovision, and then we started doing comment episodes about it, and now we're doing it again this year because it is the 3rd year in a row. And
I look forward to seeing your reaction to certain songs.
so I specifically, until they have all of the songs, I'm not listening. Like, I'm waiting, which is why you have not seen me talk about Eurovision in other Slacks that have channels about Eurovision. So yeah, I want to have all of them, and then I just want to binge them. So
One came out today, and we're still waiting on another 5, and maybe a 6th, or that 6th not participating and being kicked from the tournament. Let's not talk about that one.
talk to me about it on Slack. Yeah, so no, I'll look it up. So yeah, that's another reason to go to patreon.com/GHSpod and support the show. Yeah, thanks for having me, Al.
Thank you for joining me. It was fun. Thank you, listeners, for listening. And until next time, have a good harvest. The Harvest Season is created by Al McKinley, with support from our patrons, including our pro farmers, Kevin, Stuart, and Elisa. Our art is done by Micah the Brave, and our music is done by Nick Burgess. Feel free to visit our website, harvestseason.club, for show notes and links to things we discussed in this episode.
Okay, I am also local. Why is The Sims 4 trying to launch? No.
It's been a while. You
It's
must
like-
play me.
Like, blame me. No. Okay.